Virtual Creative Factory in Colorado.
Told you that one of the biggest hurdles for a massive, booming American industry comes down to, well, a simple case of mistaken identity. It's kind of wild, but we're talking about the cannabis industry and the huge digital walls it keeps slamming into, sometimes for the simplest of reasons. But, okay, before we dive into all the cool, high-tech solutions, we've actually got to start with some basic botany. Yep, because to really get a grip on the marketing problem, you first have to understand the plant, or in this case, the plants. All right, so on the left, you've got canna. Think canna lilies, those really pretty ornamental flowers you see in gardens. Then on the right, you have cannabis. Now, this is the one we're actually here to talk about, the genus that includes both hemp and marijuana. It seems like a simple mix-up, right? But it's actually the perfect preview for the massive confusion surrounding this multi-billion-dollar industry. But that little bit of confusion over the plant's name, that's just scratching the surface. For the actual cannabis industry, the marketing challenges are like a giant maze that pretty much no other business has to figure out. And listen, the stakes could not be higher. As one legal expert put it, 2024 has been a volatile time. A lot of businesses are just trying to survive. It is a really, really tough time to be a cannabis brand. So why is it so tough? Well, first off, you can't just go out and buy ads. All the major social media and search platforms, they have these super strict anti-cannabis policies. That means paid advertising is mostly off the table. So brands are stuck trying to get attention the old-fashioned organic way, which is incredibly hard in such a crowded market. On top of that, there's this huge financial penalty. Because cannabis is still illegal at the federal level, these businesses get hammered by this tiny little section of the tax code called 280E. And what that means is they can't deduct normal business expenses. We're talking rents, payroll, things every other business deducts. It creates a totally crippling tax burden. And if they go under, they can't even file for federal bankruptcy. And the chaos just keeps going, all the way down to the consumer level. Every single state has its own set of rules, new products are popping up that blur all the legal lines, and the average person is just trying to figure out a whole new language. Sativa, indica, THC, CBD, it's just a perfect storm of challenges. So what you have is an industry that's basically stuck. It desperately needs to reach customers to survive, but all the normal tools for doing that are off limits. This is where technology really starts to change the game. So with all of this stuff piled up against them, how does a brand even begin to stand out? How do you connect with customers in a way that's meaningful, legal, and actually works? Well, the answer, more and more, is about working smarter, not just harder, and that means using artificial intelligence. Let's start with the customer experience on a website. Instead of a confusing mess of products, AI chatbots can act like your own personal guide, walking you through all the options to find the right thing. And on the back end, AI is analyzing how people are actually using the site, helping brands tweak the design to make it better. The result? A way better experience for the user, which search engines like Google absolutely love and reward with higher rankings. AI also helps clean up a really messy data problem. See, because online clicks happen in one place and in-store purchases happen in a completely different system, a lot of brands can't connect the dots. They don't know if their website is actually leading to sales. But by using AI to sync up their website analytics with their cash registers, they can finally see which marketing efforts are actually working and which are just a waste of money. So, okay, getting the basics right is one thing, but to really win in 2025, brands have to be looking ahead because this whole digital world is changing so fast. The formula for success is this powerful combination of AI and search engine optimization. And the difference here is, well, it's night and day. Traditional SEO is reactive. It's based on what people have already searched for. AI-powered SEO, on the other hand, is predictive. It uses machine learning to figure out what people will want and creates content for new trends before they even take off. It's really the difference between driving while looking in the rearview mirror and driving with a GPS that sees traffic jams miles ahead. And this next generation of search, it's already here. We're talking about large language model search engines, things like ChatGPT or Perplexity. These AI tools don't just give you a list of websites, they digest all that information and give you a direct conversational answer. For cannabis brands, this means just ranking on Google isn't going to be enough anymore. You have to become a trusted source for these AI engines. So, how do you do that? The trick is to make your website's content as easy as possible for an AI to read and trust. This means using structured data, like something called schema markup, which is basically like putting little labels on your content that an AI can understand instantly. You also have to start thinking about answering questions directly and including clear sources to show that you're an authority. You're essentially spoon-feeding the AI the exact information it needs to see you as a credible expert. When you start putting all of these pieces together, the personalization, the accurate data, the predictive SEO, what you're really looking at is a complete transformation of how this industry can even operate in the digital world. And the key takeaway here is that this isn't just some passing trend. AI is becoming the fundamental building block for a smarter, more agile marketing strategy. Honestly, it's the only way to keep up with a market that changes by the day in a search landscape that is evolving by the hour. Which really leaves us with one final big question. For an industry that's been so defined by legal and financial walls, maybe the biggest wall of all has been the simple inability to communicate with its own customers. So, is it possible that technology, specifically AI, is the final key needed to cut through all that noise and finally unlock this industry's true potential?